And in the other corner, a predator from a different Eve. Africa's largest snake, the African rock python.
In the grand theater of the animal kingdom, there are kings, and there are gods. On the vast, sun-drenched canvas of the African savanna, the lion reigns, a king crowned in sun and fury, the roaring embodiment of absolute power. He is the undisputed sovereign of this golden empire, his rule declared with a voice that shakes the very air. But in the cool, dark shadows of the riverbank, a different power resides. Here, a primordial god of the undergrowth lies in wait. The African rock python, a living force of nature as old as the earth itself. It is a creature of silent, deliberate strength, its patterned coils a testament to supremacy born not of fury, but of ancient, cold patience. One rules the light, the other commands the dark. This is the ultimate clash of combat philosophies, explosive power versus inescapable pressure. The brawler versus the grappler. When these two domains collide, when the undisputed king meets a primordial god in a battle for survival, who is the true apex predator?
In this corner, the undisputed sovereign of the savannah, the African lion.
This is the ultimate clash of combat philosophies, explosive power versus inescapable pressure. The brawler versus the grappler. When these two domains collide, when the undisputed king meets a primordial god in a battle for survival, who is the true apex predator?
A powerhouse built around a massive skull, designed for one purpose, projecting overwhelming force.
The lion's arsenal is a whirlwind of offense. Canines long enough to puncture hide and splinter bone.
But its greatest defense is worn like a crown, a thick mane, serving as natural armor around the vital arteries of the neck.
And in the other corner, the serpent,
a predator from a
the African rock python, Africa's largest snake, a primordial hunter that trades explosive force for inescapable pressure. While it may only weigh up to 200 pounds, it exchanges mass for terrifying length, stretching up to 20 feet. This is not an animal of bone and sinew in the traditional sense. It is a single, massive, hydraulic muscle of terrifying efficiency. Its mouth isn't designed for killing. It's a living anchor, filled with dozens of backward curving teeth that grip like fishhooks, making escape impossible. Its true weapon is its body, a living hydraulic press that squeezes with over 12 pounds per square inch, the equivalent of a school bus slowly parking on your chest, stopping the heart and crushing the life from its victim. Its defense is a flexible suit of chainmail, tough, overlapping scales that can deflect glancing blows and scratches.
Claws are for slashing.
The contrast is absolute. The heavy, ground-shaking steps of the lion versus the silent, fluid slither of the python. The shattering impact of a 650 psi bite versus the slow, methodical certainty of 12 psi constriction. The sovereign's advantage is clear, a blitz of speed and power designed to end the fight before it begins. The serpent's advantage is entirely different: patience, camouflage, and one perfect, inescapable technique. The stage for this conflict is the African savanna, but the arena is the riverbank during the dry season. This is a time of trial, a crucible where survival is measured not in days, but in drops of water. Here, at this critical resource overlap zone, their paths are destined to cross. For the lioness, a sleek hunter forged in the heat of the plains, this place is a lifeline. She is a protector, a warrior queen whose duty is not only to herself, but to the future of her bloodline, two small cubs who follow in her shadow.
But
Her sharp, amber eyes are constantly assessing the environment, every sense alert to the slightest hint of danger. She is the vigilant guardian of a fragile legacy. But this life-giving mud is also the domain of the python. In the dense, shadowy reeds, it is a master of ambush. Its blotched, camouflaged scales make it nearly invisible against the earth, a living statue of patience. Motionless, it waits for thirst to bring its prey to it. It doesn't need to hunt, it simply needs to exist. Its forked tongue tastes the air, reading the story of the savannah one molecule at a time. It is a creature of pure, ancient instinct, tuned to the subtle vibrations of a world closing in. But this life-giving mud is also the domain of the python. In the dense, shadowy reeds, it is a master of ambush. Its blotched, camouflaged scales make it nearly invisible against the earth, a living statue of patience. Motionless, it waits for thirst to bring its prey to it. It doesn't need to hunt, it simply needs to exist. Its forked tongue tastes the air, reading the story of the savannah one molecule at a time. It is a creature of pure, ancient instinct, tuned to the subtle vibrations of a world closing in.
The python. The motive
The
is
python
simpler.
explodes from the reeds.
Opportunity.
In the same instant, the lioness launches herself forward. They are on a collision course, a clash of maternal rage and predatory drive. She lands between the serpent and her cub, her defining roar tearing through the air. The strike is diverted. For a tense, silent moment, the two apex predators are frozen, inches apart, locked in a deadly standoff at the water's edge.
To understand the fighter,
To understand the fight, you must first understand the fighter. The lioness is a product of the open savanna, a world that rewards speed and overwhelming force. Her entire life is a balance of cooperative hunting and fierce defense. Her profession is not just hunting, it is war. She is a battle-hardened veteran, accustomed to fighting off hyenas, rivals, and any threat to her family. She is the embodiment of a warrior queen. Her
She is a
strategy is
master of
built
the
around
hunt,
a single,
but also a
devastating
brawler,
concept,
a
the blitz
defender,
attack.
a queen.
An instantaneous release
is
of
a
power. She
battle-hardened
aims to end the
generalist.
fight before it begins, delivering a kill shot to the head or spine with her bone-crushing bite. Her secret weapon is the speed at which she deploys her overwhelming strength.
Her primary weapon is not just her teeth or claws, but speed and shock. The blitz attack.
The python's world is not the open plain. It is the shadows, the water's edge. And its profession is not war, it is assassination. It is the ultimate solitary operator, a creature of profound patience that waits for the perfect moment to strike. It does not brawl, it executes a single, perfect technique
silent
honed over
assassin.
millions of years.
Every hunt
Its
is
teeth
a
are not
solo
for
mission,
killing, they are merely the
execution
anchor.
of a single,
The true weapon
deadly
is its
art
entire
form.
body. Once it has a grip, it
The
begins its
coiled
deadly
body of
work,
the African rock
constriction.
python is
A
not
living
tense,
submission hold
but
that
flows.
systematically
The
cuts off
python's
blood
secret
flow to
is
the
the
brain,
grapple.
its coils
It
tightening
weathers
with
the
measured,
initial storm,
inescapable pressure.
waiting for one
Its secret
opportunity
weapon
to
is
get
its
a grip.
methodical, lethal efficiency.
Once the anchor is set, the fight's dynamic changes completely. It is no longer a brawl. It's a
But
But a
what of the
fight
mind?
is not just about
The lioness
physical
displays
weapons.
adaptive
It's a
intelligence.
battle of minds.
She can assess a complex
The lioness
situation, change
demonstrates
tactics,
adaptive
and
intelligence.
exploit an opponent's weakness. She is a strategist. The python operates on a different level. This is not cunning, it is something deeper, more ancient. Its body knows what to do,
The African
reacting
rock
on pure,
python,
lethal
Python
programming.
sabae.
It is the ultimate clash
Identified
of
by its
combat
massive
philosophy,
coiling body and
adaptive,
reptilian
strategic
arm.
rage versus ancient,
The python
unwavering
operates
instinct.
on a deeper,
Which mindset
more
will shatter
ancient
when the two
level.
finally collide?
It is not cunning. It is lethal programming.
The world holds its breath. Then, the lioness explodes forward, a living projectile of maternal fury aimed at the serpent's head. Her claws are extended, her jaws agape. But the snake moves with impossible speed, tucking its head to absorb the glancing blood. The lioness draws first blood, tearing scales from its tough hide, but the attack is not decisive. In that split second, she has overextended. The python has weathered the initial storm. And now, the fight changes. The python's tail whips around her back leg, anchoring her to the spot. She roars in fury, biting at the coil, but it is like biting a steel cable. Before she can react, another massive loop surges forward, wrapping her torso. Her explosive mobility is gone. The moment the first full coil locks around her ribcage, the brawl is over. A grim contest of biology has begun. The lioness's greatest asset, her immense aerobic power, has just become her fatal weakness. Every powerful breath she takes to fuel her muscles is now used against her. With each gasp for air, the python's coils tighten, squeezing with methodical, hydraulic efficiency, cutting off blood flow to the brain and stopping the heart. Her desperate struggles weaken. Her claws tear at the scales and her teeth rip at the muscular body, but the damage she inflicts is not as immediate as the python's attack. With a final surge of defiance, she sinks her teeth deep into the serpent's side, delivering a mortal blow, but it is delivered too late. Her defiant roars have faded to quiet, desperate gasps. The magnificent engine is silenced, her light extinguished in the lethal embrace. The victor, heavily wounded, slowly begins to uncoil. The result is definitive. The python's specialized technique of constriction is one of nature's most perfect killing methods. It doesn't need to be stronger, it just needs to be inescapable. The lioness fought with the heart of a warrior and the fury of a mother, the undisputed sovereign of her world. But in the brutal arithmetic of the wild, explosive power is a fearsome weapon, but not always the ultimate one. On this day, the fury of a king was no match for the slow, inescapable pressure of a god. The crown
Even
lies
as she
heavy on the
inflicted
savannah
mortal
floor,
wounds,
a testament to
her
the
own
fact that
life
in the
was
ultimate
being
contest for
extinguished.
survival, there is
She won
always
the
a greater
brawl,
power.